Jack from Fantasy Can here. Before we get started, I just want to say make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit a like, make sure you leave some comments too, give me some feedback on how we're doing, how everything's going around here. And before we get into it, just want to say thanks for watching. So this is how to draft, and we're drafting from the number 12 spot. So my favorite strategy, if I had to pick one, is definitely going to be the tight end and running back, or the running back and wide receiver combo, just because you're getting two guys that are good right away and your team is just looking solid. I think that's probably the best move just because of how important it is to lock up those positions, because those are the main ones that are going to be giving you points in the first place. You're not going to win a championship on your quarterback. You're not going to win a championship on your defense or kicker who's amazing. The reason that you're going to be in championships is because your wide receivers and your running backs are both good. Or at least one of them is really good and the other is like decent. But you're not going to ever see a team in a championship that has a shitty running back core and a bad wide receiver core as well. So for this draft, we're going to be going running back. So we're going to draft Mixon and we're going to draft James Conner. And now we have those guys squared away. We're not going to have to worry about anything else about them. We're not going to have to worry about running backs for a while. Part of me really wants to pull the trigger on Derrick Henry, but we are going to draft Diggs here. And we're going to see what else we got. Because with wide receivers, I don't think we're looking too great. I want to stay away from AJ Green this year just because, he's looking weird now that he's a little banged up. But Derrick Henry's there, and that would be a great person to have in my flex. And I can guarantee you that two of them are probably going to work out. Not guarantee, but I can pretty much say that two of them are going to work out. So I'm going to go ahead and lock up Derrick Henry. We're going to see where this goes. It's going to be heavy running backs and see where we can get our wide receivers from. So we're going to get our wide receivers right now. We're going to fill that out. We're going to get Mike Williams, who, again, I think is not a bad person to have as a wide receiver, just because, even as a wide receiver too, because he has such a high potential of actually breaking out. And then we're going to lock up Allen Robinson as well. Secure our wide receivers. So now we're looking for tight end and then bench guys. And maybe a quarterback depending on, how fast they're flying off the board. So looking at the quarterbacks, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to wait on Goff. Feel pretty decent about that. Tight end wise, let's see what we have available. We don't have any really good options for tight end, so we're pretty much just going to give up on having a deep one. So whatever with that. So right now, locking up a quarterback would probably be a decent idea because the tight ends at this point, whatever. We're just not going to get anybody good. But Rashad Penny's there, Tariq Cohen. Those guys have possibilities just to kind of be flashy and be decent. So we're going to draft Penny here because I think he has a higher potential of being more fantasy relevant than Cohen does. Then we're going to go ahead, lock up Jared Goff, get our guy, get our quarterback. So now we're just pretty much trying to fill their bench. We're going to draft Anthony Miller here and then target a tight end, whichever tight end is available. But I like Miller because he's a sleeper this year. And honestly, a lot of people are overlooking him. So if I had to pick here, it's tough between Trey Burton and Hooper. Those two are pretty much the ones that I like the most that are here. But Austin Hooper has started to kind of come into his own a little bit under the Falcons. So I kind of like him as a sleeper fantasy pick this year for tight ends. So now we got our team pretty much. Jared Goff is a quarterback I like, and our running backs are just so unbelievably loaded. We know for sure that, we know that odds are two of them are going to work out. So it's not the end of the world if one of them gets hurt. But if not, we have a lot of really good players on this team. Derrick Henry could be an RB1. Connor could be an RB1. Mixon could be an RB1. That's kind of the upside that we're looking at right now. Not only is Diggs good, Williams is great, and so is Goff. This team is straight upside. Really, that's it. I wouldn't bank on this one to win a championship, but if things go right this year, this team could be really good. So now we're going to try and go with a nice little wide receiver combo or tight end wide receiver combo just to show you how we can handle getting running backs late. And again, I'm doing this I'm recording this while I am actually drafting. So it is kind of, I'm improvising a little bit and doing things that I like based on the current draft too. So looking at the guys, Kelsey's there, and I'm also going to bring in Odell. And now we're going to see what running backs will be around next round. Out of all the guys that are here, I like those ones the best. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to get Sony Michel, and we're going to lock up we won't be able to wait on Lindsay, but I like him the best, and I'm going to go ahead and take him. So Philip Lindsay and Michelle are starting running backs, and then we have Odell and Kelsey as our other guys. And right now we have Mike Williams coming in again, so yeah, I'm going to be able to take him, which is always nice, so I'm a big fan. We're going to wait on James White, but we are going to try and grab him a little bit later. Chris Carson is kind of sitting there, and I don't love Chris Carson this year, but him coming in the 6th round and us needing running backs here, I like that a lot. So we're going to draft him, and also we're going to try and target Rashard Penny a little bit later as well. But we need a wide receiver. That's going to be our main focus next round. Let's see if we can find Christian Kirk. He is there, which is lovely for us. So we're going to pull Kirk. And our wide receivers are shaky at best. So we're going to draft another one of them. We're going to draft Dante Pettis, who is a guy who could be the wide receiver 1 in that 49er offense, at least this year. So that's nice. So we don't have Penny. Rashard Penny is off the board. And I don't quite know about James White. I'm pretty sure he's gone too. Not there. So we need to get wide receivers that could be good, and we need to get running backs who could also be decent. Right now, we're not in a really good spot because we have a lot of question marks on this team. So we're going to draft Ronald Jones here, and we're also going to lock up our quarterback. So we need some wideouts for this team. We need some running backs for this team just to make it a little bit deeper. I really don't hate the running back situation considering we got guys that I like, but just the whole uncertainty of the 2 wideouts that are under Odell, it makes me feel a little uneasy, and the flex spot really isn't too solid either. So honestly, I don't feel the best about this team, but all things considered, it's got some upside again, which is something we want to end up with. We want to end up with a team that is going to look good or at least make us feel decent about this. Okay, so we have Travis Kelce, Connor, Bell, and Jones. So we're going to go with Kelce here for sure. And the second person who I think we're going to target here, Le'Veon Bell is a big person who could be good, and I actually kind of like this year. Connor could also be someone as well, but he's only had one good year where I really liked him, and I feel kind of insecure about him. And then there's Julio, who's there, but he hasn't really been playing to the high caliber Julio-ness as he used to, or he's just been a little inconsistent mostly. That's my main thing with him. So we're going to go Kelce for the first pick. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick Le'Veon Bell here. Lock up a running back. Now, because we picked Bell, I do not feel completely secure about that pick, so we're probably going to target a running back here again, or running back and wide receiver, that type of duo. So Aaron Jones is there, which I'm going to pick him up because of the whole of Le'Veon Bell not being 100% a guarantee. So we're going to draft him, and then we're going to go with Stephon Diggs because he's the best wide receiver I think is there, and he has the potential to be a top 10 wide receiver this year, so I feel pretty secure about him. Not to mention we have Kelce, so think of him as just another wide receiver. So Diggs is almost our wide receiver too in this type of situation. Next round. Now we don't have the best options here. Mike Williams is there, but I'm not the biggest fan of having him as my wide receiver 2. But it's looking like he's probably going to end up being someone we pick here. But Deshaun Watson's available. We're going to take a look at the running backs who are there. Not many options anymore, so I'm glad we picked Aaron Jones when we did. So we're going to pretty much target wide receivers here, and we're going to lock up 2 wideouts. We're going to be picking up Mike Williams. And you know what? I feel like Deshaun Watson's the best guy available right there. I think we can get a wide receiver who's going to be decent enough in the next couple rounds. The flex spot, probably going to suffer a little bit because of that, but getting one of the top quarterbacks is always nice, so I'm going to go ahead and draft him. So moving on to the next round, I'm not expecting to really get anyone too good. Ideally, I would want to target a running back and a wide receiver here just to fill up my starting lineup. Marvin Jones is there, who I don't necessarily love, but he's still one of the guys that's going to be used in the Lions offense. We're going to scroll down a bit, check out else, see who else we got. Austin Elker is an interesting play because of the Melvin Gordon situation, how we don't fully know what's going on over there. Christian Kirk has already been taken off the board, which I'm upset about because he's one of my sleepers for this year. Another person I'm tempted to target here is Kareem Hunt, honestly. I really kind of like the idea of him in this situation. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull the trigger on Marvin Jones, lock up our wide receivers, and now we're just going to start drafting running backs who have a potential of breaking out or doing something good. So now looking over this entire team, I think that I did make a mistake drafting Watson there. I think the better move would have just been to draft a wide receiver, draft either Alshon Jeffrey or Allen Robinson, and instead of having Marvin Jones in my starting roster, but I still would have him as like a flex, so that'd be even better than Penny necessarily. And then I could always wait and get a quarterback later, like probably Goff late, which is something I've been kind of doing a lot lately because he's a discount guy and it's kind of great. But I think that if there's one thing I would change about this draft, it would be the pick of Deshaun Watson so early. So that does it for this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment. Thank you guys again for checking us out, and we'll see you later.